Hey everybody, it's Wing Rider. If you saw my video yesterday rebuilding the carburetor on the farm all, I also showed you I got the bushing kit for the front of my snapper. These little plastic bushings wear out, and this thing's towed out in the front. When you turn the wheel, it tries to lock and plow. So that kit was fairly reasonably priced, so I got that. Got 3 new tires on it. There's the old ones. This one, it leaks a little bit, but I got a new tube for it. What's that? Oh, you bought 3 new tires, why not 4? Because it's $56 a pop for them tires. The rest of them were completely rotten. Even a tube probably wouldn't have helped them. But this one, it still had air in it when it was sitting for 10 years. So it's not rotten completely. It's tubeless tire, so for $12 I got a tube for it. So I'm going to put a tube in it and save myself, 45 bucks or more. But like I said, it'll hold air for like 5 days. Anyway, there's the gold wing under the cover. The Kawasaki KLR, 2008 KLR. Trailer for the gold wing back there. And I don't know what I'm going to need to. I know I'm going to need. I need to really organize my drawers here. I know I'm going to need probably this guy. I need to get me a set of cotter keys, generic from a car keys, because I ran out. But I'll try to use these. But my brother's got an old Model 40 John Deere, 1953 Model 40 John Deere, and I got it give to me. The transmission was locked up in it 10 years ago. One of the bearings came apart, and it's got ball bearings in the transmission. One of the balls got hung between 2 gears, so they would roll forward a foot and it'd lock, roll back a foot and it would lock, so they parked it. They gave it to me because I'm a tractor head, and I got in there and rebuilt it and got it running pretty good. And I got a bunch of tractors, so I gave it to my brother because he needed one. And lately, it's got a 1-wire alternator on it, conversion from the generator it used to have. It was 6 volt in its beginning of its life. Now it's 12. But he took the alternator went bad, so he's been running it without an alternator on it or a generator. As long as it's got power in the battery to the points, it'll run. But what he didn't know was it's a 12 volt system, and his battery has about 5 volts in it. That's all he's getting to his points and his plugs, and he was wondering why it wasn't running quite right. I told him he'd charge that battery up to 12 volts and then try it and see what happens. Plus the point gap's supposed to be 22 thousandths. It was 30 thousandths. So he's going to go today. He's going to get him another 1-wire alternator and a new battery, and we're going to put that stuff on there so he doesn't have to keep jumping it to start it. Anyway, let me get into the front end of this thing. And I'm going to need some snap ring pliers too. So let me get into the front end of this thing, and it'd probably be better to tilt it all the way up on its ass, on them bars back there, but then all the gas and fluids and everything, so I'm just going to do it this way. So let me go get some snap ring pliers and see if I can borrow some cotter keys from my brother, and I will be back. By the way, here's the old 40 John Deere. And the alternator's conversion's off, the battery's out, and I want to help him get all that set up. But in the meantime, let me get those snap ring pliers. Be back in a sec. Okay, I got you guys set up on the tripod. Just to clarify something, my brother, he's an excellent mechanic, but a lot of guys, they're not familiar with the old stuff from 50s and 60s with the points and condensers and generators. And when I was still in high school, working after school every day, I didn't work at no McDonald's or none of that crap. I was a teenager. After school, I would go to, in the 10th grade, I got a job working at a Ford farm dealership, tractor dealership. And that's where I learned to work on all that stuff. But a lot of guys that, he's been a truck driver for 35 years. He never worked on that kind of stuff. So, but, oh, okay. Let me show you what we've got here. Okay. I'll show you how bad this bushings were. Give me just a second. One of the big boys here. You see any difference between those? You know, if I got you in front of the camera, see anything? Just a little bit of difference there. Yeah, that is why I'm redoing the front of this thing. Okay, the bushings are just hammered shot. Okay, let me binding up to it. There, that'll help. Let me pull this. Car key out of here. Ah! Big boys. Car key. Come on. Yeah, I will be able to salvage these. Ah. Yeah, slightly wore out. Just a little bit. There's going to be no comparing these guys when I get through. And talking about wore out, there's even these that go there. Okay, there it is. That's just petrified in there. So let me get that one out of there. I don't know if you can see anything or not. Hopefully I'm set up where you can see a little bit here. That one was just practically petrified. Okay, I got the new one. Put it in there like that. Yeah, this kit wasn't bad at all. There's no grease fittings or anything. It's just plastic bushings on these things. And this one went. That's got to go. It's got to go. Yeah. Take one side apart at a time, so if you screw up, you can use the other one as a guide to put this one back together. This is what I do in my retirement. I'm a retired highway patrol officer, Florida highway patrol officer, and you got to stay busy. You hear about these guys retiring and dying, and you know, a week later, and well, you have to stay busy. Remember the washer, and then I got a key. I'm going to go hammer this flat, but put something behind my rear wheel so it won't roll on me. Oh. I need to get some new clothes. These all fit kind of loose on me these days. Hang on a second. Let me step you up a notch here. With my brother firing up his truck, he's going to go get those parts. Okay, I'm back. Redoing the front end of this thing. Just to clarify, my brother Chris, he's an excellent mechanic, but he's been a truck driver for many, many years. And the older stuff, like that old tractor, the 40, is stuff that a lot of guys, they're not familiar with points, condensers, and charging systems with generators and all that. When I was in the 10th grade in high school, after school every day, for a part-time job, I got a job at a Ford farm dealership, tractor dealership. Well, that's where I learned to work on all that old stuff. And then later, I worked at a Chevrolet dealership, and I worked at a diesel shop, and I put an application in with the Florida Highway Patrol back in '87. So on my 25th birthday, January 1989, my birthday was December, born in '62. January 9th, 1989, I enrolled in the Highway Patrol Academy, or went to the Highway Patrol Academy, and that was a Sunday, and met the sergeant for the first time. And anyway, retired from that now. So, but let me, I got a bushing kit for the front of this old, I don't know if you watched the videos that I did on the snapper mower. When I bought it brand new many years ago from the Ford tractor dealership, the same one I worked at. Of course, I'd been a trooper for 10 years, and I just went back. But I reacquired this. You can watch the videos on it, but the front end is wobbly and towed out. It's got these plastic bushings in there, and take a look at this. This is the old bushing I just took out, and this is the new one. And there's just no comparing those things. I already rebuilt the other side, but I'm going to show you this one. It is super simple. I bought the kit fairly cheap. It's like 12 bucks or something like that for the kit that I bought for it, because it's a decent mower, and it just needs, you know, little stuff like this. Otherwise, you know, I'm mowing and the front end's wobbling, and it's a pain in the ass. So anyway, but I need to go to the parts store and get me a generic box of cotter keys, C-O-T-T-E-R, cotter keys. I ran out. I'm reusing old stuff. But this is pretty simple, really. These plastic bushings, they're just completely shot. There's the other one, just wore, that hole's not supposed to be there. And the little one there. So these new ones should help a great deal in fixing the looseness and wobble and everything on the front of this thing. Okay. Son of a bitch. There's brand new car keys in there. I was trying to reuse the old ones. It's a complete kit. Snap rings, everything. It's all brand new stuff in here. Just dump it out in the seat. There you go. Complete brand new front end stuff. Alright. Let me get a old tab of grease. Most people, they just run these things. It's not a big deal. The plastic gets wore out and over a couple of years, and they just keep running them, and the front end's wobbling and locking when you turn it. Well, what's wrong with it? Well, the bushings are shot in the thing. It's got grease fittings on the front wheels too. So if you keep track of all that stuff and do proper maintenance, you won't have near the problems later replacing worn out parts. And if you change the oil when you're supposed to, that engine will last longer too. But this should correct, because when you turn, the wheels turn too far and you'll lock and it just starts plowing, and you got to snatch the wheel back, and hopefully this will correct that little problem, that little deficiency. Okay. That part of my, and that'll fix it. Brand new cotter keys. And I was using the old shit. It already feels different. Yes. Okay. Gotta turn you around, you bastard. There you go. That already even feels different. And there's some more into the middle there. So I'm going to grab those guys. But anyway, that made a difference. I'll take you off the tripod here. And that made a difference. Putting those new bushings in there. One there. One there. One on the steering there. And there's a couple more in the center. So let me put those in, and this should be much better machine. Or the front end should be better anyway. Anyway, Wing Rider. Okay, new bushings are in the front end. All that's done. And it should make a big difference in how it steers. So that feels a hell of a lot better already, just the way it feels. It's not towed out like it was, and that feels pretty good. Okay, so that is done. Much better. That it's not even close to what it was. But that's how loose fitting clothes. I lost 25 pounds over the past year. I had this thyroid problem the doctor found that I didn't know about, that I've had for years, and she put me on some medication, and plus I changed my diet. I fell in love with fruits and vegetables, and I started losing some weight, so my clothes are a little loose now. I need to buy some new ones. Anyway, snapper's all fixed, ready to go. I'm going to put it back in the shop here. And if you go back to see the previous video, you can see where it sat for 10 years. My niece, I gave it to her after I had it about a year, because I got a bigger one, and it was like brand new, still in great shape for its age. And she thought the motor blew up in it, engine, but it sheared the flywheel key after she had it about a year, and threw it out of time, and it spit and sputtered, and she thought the engine blew up. So I went and got it after it sat for 14 years, something like that, in my brother-in-law's shop, dusting the tires, rotting, 3 of them anyway. And pulled the spark plug out. It was firing. Okay, put a little gas in the, dribble a little gas in the spark plug hole. Pull the cord, and bam, it backfired through the carburetor. It ran, as you'll see in the previous video, but it wouldn't idle up, and it was spit back through the carburetor. And it dawned on me watching a Musty One video about the timing. It's a single cylinder engine. There's no distributor. If it spits back through the carburetor, it's got to be something timing issue. Pull the flywheel, the cover off, the tins off the flywheel, and sure enough the key was sheared, and it was about a quarter out of round, so I fixed it. And there you go. And we'll see you later.